Hey guys, welcome back to F1 2021, the My Team journey for Cross GT Racing. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. It's just been really busy at the moment with work and with COVID and everything going on in my neck of the woods. So I haven't really had a whole lot of time to really play F1 or even get some recording in and all that sort of stuff. So sorry it's been so long since I've last uploaded, but we're back now. I've got a whole bunch of stuff I want to get done in this season, so we're going to get right back into it. So we just came off the retirement at Silverstone. I'm pretty sure that was the last one that I did. We had an engine failure straight after we had an engine failure the week before in, I believe it was Austria. So two engine failures, one after the other. I don't know how that happened, but we're gonna put that behind us, and we're gonna move on to the next race, which I do believe is the Belgian Grand Prix. But first, we obviously have to put another engine into the car. So the ICE, two in a row gone. The first one in Austria, I understand that one. You know, we were running, I think, about 60-something% the start of that race. But the second one, we only did 40 laps in it, and it was gone. So we're going to put that in. That's going to be a grid penalty. I think that's what it said, a grid penalty. But, you know, we got to do it, obviously. Our first part is already a bit wasted, so we have to leave that one behind. We're going to rush in an intercooler upgrade.
To address an issue concerning our driver.
Yep, sure thing. So we can't really approach the driver on this one, so we're just going to have to ignore it, which is fine. Either way, we lose one and gain the other. So we're gonna ignore this and gain racecraft, but lose some awareness for a button.
Thanks for dealing with that. The department appreciate it.
No worries there, mate. So we have skipped past the season break. Now getting ready for the...
Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car, ready for the next race weekend.
Cool. Marketing department's got a bit of an issue. I suppose this is just going to be paying money and getting team acclaim or not doing anything. Yeah, losing team acclaim. So we're just going to pay the money, get the acclaim. We don't want to lose team acclaim.
You handled that well. Thank you.
Alright, now that's done and dusted. Back into R&D, so we're just trying to rush everything that we can. A aerodynamics upgrade, hopefully that will be completed before the next Grand Prix. We will soon see. We've got a few things going at the moment as we advance time, heading towards the... So we haven't skipped the season break, we're actually heading towards the season break. So as we lose network connection, well, that was cool.
We've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
Cool, so it looks like all those parts have come on, or at least the ones that were getting ready there. We've got one more before the race. Marketing need just to take a look at another issue. We'll have to take a look at that.
Need some assistance to reach a resolution here.
Cool, so we can either invest a small amount of money and get small amount of resource points, or more money and more resource points. So that's an easy one.
Thanks.
More resource points it is.
I appreciate you taking the time to help out.
No worries, resource points are always welcome here, mate. So we've got a few days before the Belgian Grand Prix. We're going to advance this last sort of week. And that final upgrade has come through.
They'll be on the car, ready for the next race weekend.
Cool, so all of our upgrades that we've been rushing have come through, so that's going to hopefully make a massive amount of difference for this next race, because we really need a good result after the last two parts failures that we've had, because we're you know, two in a row we've had to retire, and those two races we could have got points in Austria, and we could have won Silverstone. We were dominating that race, but you know, we just take it on the chin. We're going to upgrade the quality control in the durability department, because obviously we want to focus on durability a little bit more. We didn't really focus on it in Season 1. So we'll take a look at it now in Season 2. Now that we're actually in the points, we kind of want to stay consistent. and get more points, get more podiums, get potentially more race wins. But we'll just have to take our time and work our way through all the upgrades. Went to Friday practice, everything went well. We again, as always, smashed all the practice programs. Didn't have to do too many in the quick practice. The Spa is it's not I wouldn't say it's an easy track, but in terms of the practice programs, I kind of had ones that were a bit easier for me to complete, which does make life a little bit easier in terms of gaining resource points, especially while the AI are getting all of the bonuses and boosts and stuff. Well, just getting more because we've got reduced income and resource points and stuff. So on to qualifying. Qualifying was in the rain, as you can see. Track limits warning there on our first lap. And yeah, going very, very heavy and very wide into the final couple of corners there. I haven't had much practice in the wet. I've had some limited practice on intermediates throughout the time I've played this game, but the wets I think I'd only used once before that lap, but luckily it dried out a little bit and we managed to get back onto inters, which I'm a lot more comfortable on.
So far. Well done.
Alright, so straight away we get the fastest lap, I think mainly because we were the first driver to finish a lap on inters. Everyone else was still on wets, so that lap's probably not going to count for much. But now we have a full run on another lap, and inters, we're pushing a little bit too hard there. We're going to see where we stack up now against the rest of the pack. Having to get used to how the car handles on the intermediate tyres after spending the majority of the my team career driving on dry tyres. I think we're handling this pretty well. Not doing too bad through the beginning of Sector 2 there, almost colliding with the wall, but we managed to hold on to it. The rain's still coming down quite a lot, so it's still going to be tough going on these inters, but I think we're getting into a bit of a groove now, with all the other cars on inters as well. Hopefully we should be able to push a little bit harder. 7 tenths up on our previous lap already, as we're coming right up behind Verstappen, who I think is still on the wets possibly. As we go purple through Sector 2, we are now almost a second up on our previous lap and heading through the high speed Sector 3. Can keep the foot down even on inters through this sector. Have to brake early because Verstappen's braking a lot earlier. Around the final corner and across the line. We go purple through Sector 3. Verstappen was on inters, but he jumps all the way up in a second. So we get a 155.4, which is good enough for pole position. Unfortunately, because of the ICE that we had to put in the new part, we're going to get a grid penalty. But that still gives us the highest possible starting position we could have had at this race, which is what we're going to need because we really want to get some points here today. So let's see how we go as we head on to race day.
Welcome along then to the Belgian Grand Prix, the race that gave us the maiden victory for the Jordan team in 1998. And in the same team, the phenomenal debut of a young Michael Schumacher. There's always something special around one of the many corners of this fan-favourite circuit. Spa-Francorchamps then, a 4.35-mile tour of the Ardennes countryside, with 9 right corners and 10 left corners, giving us a grand total of 19. Average lap speeds in the dry can reach about 145 miles per hour, but without a significant improvement in these conditions, we won't be seeing anything like that today. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. So, let's briefly discuss Lewis Hamilton. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Ricciardo, Perez, Lando Norris, and Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Sainz, Gasly, and Esteban Ocon. The captain, Stroll, George Russell, and Latifi, Schwartzman, Mick Schumacher, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Guan Yu Zhou, Mazepin, Button, Hamilton, and Yuki Tsunoda. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
So it looks like we're going to be starting P11 after the grid penalty that we've had to take. So the forecast looks like it's going to dry up at the end of the race, but we're going to run a two sets of inters. But that will obviously change as the track dries out, so we'll have to see how we go. But inters for the start. 5 red lights starting P11. And we're off and away here in Belgium. Oh, locking up. Oh, just a lot of wheel spin there. We're going to make a big dart down the inside of turn 1. Oh, and looks like a little bit of contact there with possibly Gasly. But we managed to jump all the way up into P8 now. And now so we've got a lot of speed here. Got that ERS going. Oh, Alonso going defensive. We're going to make a dart up the outside of him, braking late. We give him the space and we manage to get around the outside of him. That now puts us up into P7. As Leclerc's now going defensive and comes back across in front. Cuts in front of us. We're going to do a cheeky move around the outside now. And we get the job done. The AI don't seem to be as aggressive in the wet at this point, at least. And we've now managed to jump up into 6th after starting P11. I think the inters might be an excellent tyre for us as we now get ahead of Norris, but he comes back. We've got the inside. P5. We're just ripping through the competition right now. All those extra upgrades, and with it being the second half of the season now, a lot of these guys will be having durability issues. ERS enabled. We try to go around the inside of Verstappen. He seems to ease off a little bit heading into that corner. You don't have to. In fact, you can almost go full speed all the way around this bit. But that's P4. So in one lap, with one corner left to go, in one lap we've managed to go from P11 to P4. Now we've got Perez, Ricciardo and Bottas all ahead of us. All very fast in their own right. But it seems like the wet weather seems to be either a really good equalizer in terms of player versus AI performance, or it could just be that Belgium is a very player-oriented track. As we take a look at the replay of that move on Perez, sorry, we go off the track a little bit, but we just squeeze him out a little bit. Well, not a little bit, we squeeze him right out. We managed to get around him. P3, so now we're on the podium as we go purple through sector 2 on our second lap. So we are Definitely one of the faster drivers at this point, Valtteri Bottas. Fastest lap, and we eclipse that. I don't think by much. But now we have a target on our back as we are the fastest driver on track in the wet. And we are making moves right now. Purple through sector 1. Trying to make moves on Ricciardo now. Oh, we're getting a really good exit out of that corner there. Oh, a little bit of contact there with Ricciardo, who comes flying in. Luckily it was only on the wheels, so we shouldn't have any front wing damage. But we do manage to get that position.
On a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
Okay, so we knew it was going to dry up, but I didn't think it was going to dry up this quick. As we go back and take a look at the replay of that move on Ricciardo, we get a late apex at that corner there, so we managed to get a really good run out of there. We come up, Ricciardo comes across, we touch wheels. Luckily, neither car losing out too much on that one. No damage by the looks of things. But these final corners here, these really low speed corners on intermediates, you have to go a lot slower than you think.
It's an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got right now.
Yep, thanks Jeff. We were gonna stick with them for a while because the track is still quite wet. So we're now P2 after that move on Ricciardo. Another fastest lap that lap, so we are getting slightly faster. But when the track dries up, that's where we're really going to see who's got the pace, as that will probably give the advantage back to the AI. So we want to make as much progress now on the inters as we can. So following along behind Bottas, here we go, our favourite spot so far this race to try and get a move done as we go straight up the inside, easy as you like. Now we're sitting in P1. Oh, but we carried a bit too much speed into that corner there, we went wide.
Great pass.
But we've managed to hold on. Now it's time to build a bit of a gap between ourselves and Bottas. Just take another look. Good apex there. We come right. We go pretty tight on that corner. Bottas loses a little bit, and that gives us just the opening we need to get past him.
Sorry, we can't provide you with that information right now.
Okay, so as we're too busy trying to change tyres, Bottas takes advantage and gets ahead of us. But it looks like the track is drying up quite a bit. So I'm trying to push Jeff to give us some soft tyres, which he wouldn't give to us, but now he will. Obviously the track needed to dry up for another like 5 seconds before softs were a good option. So we're going to be boxing this lap, maybe, or next lap. I can't quite remember what it said. And we're going to change on to dry tyres. We are boxing this lap, and so is Bottas. As you can see, the handling on these inters is really starting to drop now that the track is dried out. Alright, it looks like there's quite a few people, oh no, not a few, but there's some of the drivers are staying out on the inters. It looks like it's just the teams not wanting to double stack. Norris and Sainz heading out.
Stop once now, one stop left.
Oh, the car's all over the place. So the track's not quite dry, but that was the best time we could have pitted. Right, so luckily for us, Jensen doesn't have to do another lap on inters. He goes straight in on the softs, or maybe the mediums, whatever he's going for. He's going for dry tyres. But we have now got a massive advantage over the top 3 right now. Bottas just breezing past us on his softs. We're going to try and make a move here. Oh, we get the job done. Yellow flag. Collision with Bottas. Oh, so it doesn't. We take a look at the mini-map. Bottas has stopped. Let's go back and we'll take a little look. So Bottas with the DRS goes straight past us. We get a couple of good apexes here. We go around the outside of him this time, and we just tap this front wheel, and it looks like we've possibly caused the spin. As we take a look from Bottas' perspective here, And yep, it just sends him into a spin, and oh my god! He just manages to slide out of the way. As I think there was Perez came flying around that corner.
Caution, caution.
Oh, that could have been really bad for
The track is
Bottas.
clear. Green flag.
Okay, looks like there is a yellow flag up ahead of us. So Verstappen going very slow. Verstappen's out of the race. So Verstappen's gone. I don't know what happened there. Because we're taking a look at Verstappen and it's just a mechanical failure right there. As he would have been set to come in for his pit stop this lap and go on to the softs. But that's alright, that's a free position for us as we are now leading the Grand Prix as the rest of the intermediate runners have headed in to the pits to get their softs. Oh, I've never thought I'd see it, as Nikita Mazepin now holds the fastest lap. How does Nikita Mazepin have the fastest lap? I guess the track dried up enough that he was able to push his car to the limit. 157. We go purple through sector 1 and sector 2. Can we make it purple through sector 3? We are well ahead of our previous time. The 157 that we set before. Purple through sector 3 are 150.6.
Lap of the race so far.
7 seconds faster than our previous best. We now have a just over 2 second gap, or now 2.5 second gap to Perez. And it's just elementary at the moment. Another fastest lap.
Fastest lap of the race. Keep this
As
up.
Perez now gets the fastest lap. He's right behind us. A 149 for Perez. We've still got 149 for Norris. Now we've still got a 2 second gap to Perez. Although that is starting to close now actually. So it looks like these guys do have a lot of pace. We go purple through sector 2 again. So we're getting faster and faster through sector 2. We've still got a 2.2 second gap to Perez. So we are managing to maintain that gap simply through our dominance of sector 2.
We're approaching the pit window.
148.7. Perez gets a 148.5. Leclerc 148.5. Now we're all just trading fastest laps. And Norris with 147. So everyone is just getting faster and faster. Lap 14, coming up to lap 15 now. Perez is now within a second of us, so he's going to get DRS if he can keep that gap. Charles Leclerc with the fastest lap. Norris just beats it again with another fastest lap. This is mental. We've had probably 10 different fastest lap holders in this race now, or at least 10 times it's changed. And we've still got another, 7-8 laps to go? Perez has got DRS. Can he catch us before we hit the corner? No, he can't, but he does come right up behind us. I could hear him. But we managed to hold on. As we go through those S's there, the corners, we managed to open that gap back up. So in terms of straight line speed, it seems as if the AI have definitely got the advantage over me, but through some of these corners they just seem to ease off a lot more than they need to, or at least a lot more than I have to, and I can gain that time back that I lose just by hitting those apexes and accelerating through at an earlier point as we go faster through sector 1 and sector 2. Not purple through sector 2 this time. So obviously someone else is going a lot faster there. So our advantage through sector 2 is now gone.
Some tyre grip around now.
Alright, so tyres are starting to wear, but that's alright. We did plan to go 2 sets of softs till the end of the race. There's Perez 7 tenths behind us. Oh, he's now into the pit, so he's now going on to new softs.
In this lap, push now.
So Perez, Ricciardo and Leclerc all heading into the pits for a new set of softs. Norris is 6 seconds behind us now, so we have to try and push as hard as we can this lap to try and build a big enough gap. We go purple through sector 2, a big enough gap to Perez to try and overcut him coming out of the pits. Norris and Sainz should be coming in as well to go into a new set of soft tyres, which they do. Perez 18 18.7 behind us. Can we get out? He's coming down that final straight now
Complete, go now.
as he's flowing past us, but he has to slow down around turn 1. We put the foot down and we come out in front of him. We're still P1, but we're only half a second ahead, and he's had a longer run, so he's probably going to have a little bit of an advantage. Alright, he's going to have DRS here. I don't think he can catch us as we brake and we cut off that inside channel. P1, we're still in P1 now. Now we just got to hold on. We are on 1 lap fresher softs, but we are going to have to try and push these tyres to warm up pretty quickly. So we come across the line. We're purple through sector 2 again.
We're leading our teammate by 29.1 seconds.
So we had 3 changes there while Jeff was talking in fastest lap time. So Perez has done a 1:46, I think. Ricciardo went faster than him, and then Leclerc beat that as well. But we have managed to maintain a 1.3 second gap to Perez through that first long straight, and managed to get him out of DRS range.
Green flag.
So we had a yellow flag there. We got a yellow flag behind us. Something's going on with someone. It looks like it looks like a Ferrari possibly going slow, so maybe Leclerc's had an issue. I'm not too sure. Yep, he has. Leclerc is out of the session. I'm not sure what happened there. So we take a look at it. So here we are heading into the long slow right-hander, and he's had a mechanical failure just as he's entered the corner. He could have retired right there, but he hasn't. He's come back out onto the track. He's essentially slowed down the rest of the cars behind him. He slowed down Alonso and Norris, and now they're 6 seconds behind when they should have actually been a lot closer. As we get a new fastest lap of 1:46 flat, 9 tenths faster than our previous best. But we go wide at turn 1. We have to enable the ERS. We've just given Perez that room.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
Alright, we've got plenty of fuel, so we've just given Perez that advantage back. We had more than a second gap over him, and we've ended up giving him DRS essentially. But we do have a lot of time as Bottas does a 1:45.9. So far the only driver to get into the 1:45s. So we went from the fastest lap being a 1:50 on the softs, coming off the intermediates, and we've managed to have it change so many times that now Bottas is the fastest lap on a 1:45. Lap 21, Perez, he's a lot closer this time. He's got the DRS. We're going to have to let him go. We can't defend. And on the second to last lap, Perez takes the lead of this Belgian Grand Prix. We're going to try for a move up the outside, but we just can't get it done. He brakes so late there. Didn't want to risk it. We want to take our time. We've still got about 1.5 laps left of this race. We've got the speed through the corners, so I know we can keep up with him. We just need to get ahead of him enough that the DRS just won't account for anything. But now that he's in front, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do it. We're going to have to try and make a move. So try to go up the inside, but we just can't get it done. And he cuts back across in front of us. We lose our momentum, and any chance we had of making a pass here, I think, is now gone. We've got the ERS activated.
2 laps of fuel left.
Thanks, Jeff. We only need 1. As it looks like Perez has also got his ERS activated as well. Alright, we're just going to take it slow and clean through these final couple of corners. DRS activated.
This is your final lap of the race.
But he's got his super ERS going, as we couldn't even catch up. Oh, a bit of contact. Oh, but luckily we didn't have any front wing damage. That could have cost us this race right there. We get DRS on Perez now. We're 4 tenths behind him. ERS activated as well. We're going to have to make a move here. He goes defensive, he comes across, cuts us off. We almost go onto the grass. And we managed to get the job done. It wasn't pretty, but we managed to get back in front. We're back in P1 on the final lap of this Belgian Grand Prix. 5 tenths the gap to Perez now. Ricardo was within a second of us now, or at least he was for a moment. This is now a battle for the top 3, a battle for the win, as Alonso is 5.7 seconds behind us, so he's out of this podium fight. We've managed to open up a massive gap now, 1.5 seconds heading into sector 3. 2 more corners. Early on the brakes. We just want to take these 2 corners as clean as we can. And down to the line to take the win here at the Belgian Grand Prix.
Fantastic drive, just fantastic. You deserved that race win.
Oh, what a race. After 2 failures in the last 2 races, we come back and we get a win for Cross GT Racing.
Many doubted whether they could pull off the win here at Spa-Francorchamps, but they've done so in spectacular style. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I think the key here was just the quality of the racecraft, you know? I mean, how many overtakes did they make overall? I'm sure we have a stat person keeping score somewhere, and it was fantastic to watch, wasn't it? This is a strategic sport at the end of the day, but it's always really gratifying to see close-fought battles on track. It's what all the fans are after.
A show-stopping performance from the 3 drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
Oh, so there we have it. We've made our way back to the top. We should have had a win at the last race weekend at Silverstone, but a freak mechanical failure in the ICE caused us to retire. But we managed to come back and win here at Spa in the Belgian Grand Prix. What a race. Starting from 11th, we managed to get all the way back up to 1st. Button finishing in 12th after starting P20. He must have also had to take grid penalties as well. That now puts us into 8th position in the Drivers' Championship. We're 102 points away from Hamilton in 1st, so that's not... I don't really think we're going to be able to catch any of them, but P8, that's huge for us. Man, what a win that was, 69 points. And now that puts us up ahead of Alpine in the constructor standings, now P5. 69 points there as well. 6 points clear of Alpine, but we are about 60 odd points behind Ferrari. So P5 is probably what we're aiming for the rest of the season in the constructors. Oh, what a race that was, starting on the inters in the wet and just making our way through the pack with absolute dominance. Just seems the AI just don't seem to have it in the wet, so we managed to make the most of that before we went on to the softs. Oh, and that last second dart from Perez to get back in front of us on the second to last lap, that had me a little bit worried. I wasn't sure we'd be able to catch him, but we ended up catching him in the end and holding on for another race win. I think that's what, 2 this season now. I can't actually remember how many wins it's been, if I've had multiple wins. been so long since I've actually properly got back into this. It's been about 3 or 4 weeks. But we're back, and we're back with a win, we're back with a vengeance. Man, what a race this was. If you liked the video, please do leave a like on the video, I would really appreciate that. Also let me know in the comments what you thought of the race, what you thought of the series so far, what you thought of the season, what you think we should do heading forward. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please do subscribe to the channel. It would really help me out a lot. I really do appreciate any support that you guys can give me. And I will see you guys in the next video, which I promise won't be as far away as this one has been. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.